Hey, Pillar Church, it's Carey. Today I'm going to be going over Romans 9, and we're going to focus on two things. One is God's mercy, which in essence means his compassion. And two, we're going to focus on election. Election just means God's chosen people. And so in Romans 9, you see that God doesn't give compassion based on our human effort or desire. That's verse 16. He actually does it based off of his character. It's his mercy. Get that? That's in verse 14. And so you listen to that as well as myself, and you feel this tension where it's like, God, that doesn't sound fair. So you're telling me you don't give compassion based off what I do? Yes, that's what I'm saying. And actually in Romans 9, it gives us this picture. We're clay. He's the potter. In essence, what I'm saying is that God is sovereign. He's the supreme ruler. And as a result, he dictates how he gives mercy. And so you say to yourself, well, if that's the case, then God, what are you doing? Well, in verse 22 and verse 23, it shows us a glimpse of what God's doing when he gives compassion based off his own standard. Well, he's showing his wrath, he's showing his power, and he's showing his patience. In addition to that, he's showing the richness of his glory because he is sovereign. He's the one ruler. And so what can we walk away with? Well, it talks a lot about Jews and Gentiles. And so the Jews were people who deserved, or so they thought, God's mercy, whereas they thought that anyone that wasn't born Jew didn't deserve it. And so there was a clarification made right there in scripture, which has been done. I mean, when Jesus came, he was saying that same thing. And so the takeaway for us is God's mercy is based on his standard, not mine, not yours. And then secondly, we have to follow God at his own standard. And what's God's standard? God's standard is for us to put our faith in him and obey with faith. And so for some, that means digging deeper into scripture so that way we can be empowered to know about God's mercy. And for some others, it might mean knowing God's standard so that you can actually have a real relationship with him. It's not based on your family going to church or how many times you've been to church. It's actually based on a relationship with Jesus, which means that you put faith that Jesus is Lord, and then you obey his words as a result of understanding that command from God. And so I just hope that you guys walk away with understanding just one, that God is big and he's sovereign. So we don't tell him what to do. He actually told us what to do. That's why we have the Bible. And then number two, take God at his word since he is big and he's in control.